Today is the last class of the course. Probably you have undertaken already for other courses, but for each course we do an evaluation of the course. If you enjoyed the course, if you thought that the course had contents, good morning, the amount of study to do at home was fair, if the classroom was fine, if the connection was good, and so forth. So this is relevant for us as we can understand if you have enjoyed the course or not. And in this survey you can find a place where to write what you really liked of this course and what you really didn't like. Well, I hope not much, but there is room for indicating that. So, first of all, I would like to ask you to go on this web page, which I have indicated here. So you have in the chat of the class. Meanwhile, I open on my side, I'm going to open the evaluation here. Today is a graduation day, so there is a bit of noise it's coming from outside. Apri, I'm going to open now. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 33, allora, 33, 53, mettiamo 53 persone, ci sono 53 people. Okay, guys, did you go online on that website? The website non si vede niente. Did you go online on this website? Are you there? valleunibo.it.
You can show us all the QR code. We can take a picture of it and enter the website.
Professor, can you share your screen? Sorry, guys. You are completely right. Share the screen. Giorgia, sorry, what are you saying? If I show you what?
Io ho tutto il QR code, lo possiamo scannerizzare e direttamente.
Ah, ma siete sul sito web? Are you on the right website? It's enough? Ok. Va bene. So once you should indicate the code, but maybe the QR code is already there. And then there are a number of questions for you, which you should answer. Let me know when you have finished. Guys at home, I hope you are undertaking as well this evaluation, and let me know when you have finished, please. Hello. We are undertaking an evaluation of the course, so you need to take a picture of this QR code and undertake the evaluation. Monica, we are just about taking an evaluation of the course, so take a picture of the code so you can do that as well. Just to know, did you finish or you are still undertaking? Finished. Is anyone that is still doing that? You have all finished? Okay, so I'm going to close the survey. Guys at home, did you finish or is there someone that is still undertaking? Apparently we have 10 answers missing. So in theory there are 10 students that still didn't finish the survey. I don't know if you want to finish, but just to know. All the students at home have done. Okay, so I'm going to close. Oh, 45. One more. Shall I wait another couple of minutes? Do you need another couple of minutes or done? I would say done. Ok, chiudi, sei sicuro, chiudi, ok, we have done, ok, good, ok, let's start with the presentation. Group number 1. Group Group number 1, Vescape, Mignolo, Cattani, Cantucci, Gabrielli, Aguirre. Pronti? Are you ready? If you want to upload your presentation here,
He has to look for the presentation on the email.
On the email.
yeah. Ah, okay. So go ahead. Okay, while they are sending the presentation, I remind that each group has 10 minutes to present their findings, and once you present, once you have done, if you can give me your presentation and the report, okay?
We are printed only the presentation.
You don't have the report.
The
Yeah, the
report.
report.
Just the
Not
report.
the presentation.
Okay. Send the presentation. So, just
Like
confirm.
to the
Guys, just to confirm, your group is Ariela, Vescape, Brignone, Catania, Gabrielli. Okay. That's
Qualcosa di sì.
We can do the overall.
How did I get out? How did I get out?
Yeah.
yes, of course. You go. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sorry.
Guys, silence, please. Okay, you go.
Okay, so good afternoon, every. Ready?
Okay.
Yep. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to present our non-financial disclosure for the company Inditex. Our main target in this report was circular economy. I am Sergio Aguirre, who is presenting, and my group was formed by Valentina, Chiara, Andrea, Pietro, and Laura. Okay. So, as a really short introduction, Inditex is one of the largest fast fashion companies in the world. They have in total 8 brands nowadays, present in almost all the continents. And one of the things that is really special about them is that during the pandemic, 2021, they increased by 3 the performance in the revenue. In our analysis, we use the reports, the non-financial reports, since 2014 until 2020. We use some frameworks as the IR, the GRI, the United Nations Global Compact, the AA 1000 Accountability Principles, and the Sustainable Development Goals.
You use or the company?
The company uses, sorry, yeah, the company uses. Yeah. Okay. So in our focus, we have 3 research questions. The first one was, how has the disclosure in circular economy developed during the time? So we wanted to see how was the relevance in case of circular economy during these reports, and it was an increase of, it was the same during all these period. In this case, we take a look to the letter of the chairman during those reports, the goals contained in the sustainability plan, and single projects that they have developed during this period. Regarding the second research question, how was the reporting quality? We wanted to check if they really use the principles of accuracy, clarity, comparability, and balance regarding the reports, and how were the single projects developed and disclosure during the statements. And the third question was, how has the company reported about negative facts and challenges? Because we wanted to see if they create a comparison, or they really have a speech in terms of what were the challenges, or what are the main problems that has the company to achieve the goals regarding circular economy, due to it is pretty difficult for a fast fashion company to close the loop regarding their operations. For the methodology, we used content analysis methodology. So we first select the research topic that, as I told you before, was circular economy. In this case, we discussed the development over the years, the reporting quality, and the inclusion of the challenges, as I mentioned. The second part was the development of a sample plan. So we select content units that were in the Inditex annual reports. So in this matter, we focused over our sample plan, that was only the non-financial reports. And the elaboration of the code book, we indicate some variable names. So we check the number of goals that they have during the years to compare, and also what were the goals and how they compare with the years before, to see if the performance changed. In this case, our findings in the first research question was an increase in the quantity and the degree of emphasis of the circular economy. We could see it starting from the chairman letter, where the speech about circular economy was very direct, saying that the company really wants to close the loop, and mention some goals and projects in a very broader way. And there was, at the beginning of the report in 2014, there was a big gap between the materiality index, between what the internal stakeholders wanted and the external stakeholders wanted as well. But during the years, this gap was getting closer and closer. What it means that now, right now, in the materiality index, what the company is doing and the importance that the company is giving to the circularity and what the stakeholders want, it's pretty the same. Regarding the second and third questions, as I mentioned before, we use the principles of balance, comparability, accuracy, and clarity. So these were our findings. There is some critical assessment of the situation regarding that most of the projects, they don't really mention the challenges that they have had during the years to achieve the goals. During some years, they mentioned some goals they have achieved, but they didn't mention what was the time frame or what were the difficulties that they have had during this time. In the second was the project data refers only to the single reporting year, so it was really difficult to compare really the numbers with previous years. How were the performance? So they mentioned what they have achieved during that period, but it wasn't really a comparison with the years before. In the third finding, there was a lack of transparency on the details about the implementation. So one of the main projects they have is closing the loop. In this case, the closing the loop project is that they want to give another use to the clothes that the customer are not using. They mentioned that they are giving these clothes to some organizations, but there is no traceability about what's happening with those clothes. They just mention how many garments they have collected and how many garments they have gave to this organization, but there is no further information. Missing continuity of the data presentation. So as I mentioned, there are some years, for example, in the Green to Pack project, that they mentioned that they have changed the plastic hangers, and another year that they mentioned that the stores are not using plastic bags. So it's not really continuity in the targets or the measure indicators that they have been using during their reports. The absolute data not relative to the annual production. So it is a big problem for fast fashion business regarding circularity is the overproduction of clothes. In this case, in the report, they mention how many clothes they have put on stores, but not how many clothes they have produced. So it is not really an accurate number to compare how is the company performing in this matter. No explicit targets for all the projects, so there are some projects that they don't have some goals or indicators to continue. And the seven is missing indicators for some projects in some years. As I mentioned before, there are some projects that they don't have real targets, so it has been difficult to measure. Okay. And the third question, we use some literature to check. One of the comparisons that we used was Patagonia company, that is a sustainable fashion company. In this case, we found the main challenges for circular economy in fast fashion. They continue producing growth, as we talked before. The main problem is the overproduction of clothes. The linearity of the business model. The business model itself is linear, so closing the loop it's a big major problem. The lack of legislation. Right now, governments are start getting knowledge about circularity and what is the legislation, but right now there are not real legislation about what the company should do to achieve a circular business model. The state of technology, yes, there are a lot of developments in this regard, but it is difficult to implement it in large scale. The difficulty to influence supply chain, as we know, there are many suppliers, and getting and applying circularity in all the supply chain is difficult, especially because it makes that you need to invest money. Infrastructure challenge. It's connected with the state of technology. If you want to implement new technologies, you need to change the infrastructure that you have, and difficulties in getting data and related costs increase. In conclusion, the commitment has grown throughout the last 7 years. Yes, Inditex it has shown a big increase in the importance of circularity in their business. We found critics on reporting, quality, analyzing the projects and goals in detail. There are many articles about the way that they are reporting because it's not really accurate and it's not transparent the way that they are doing it now. And the third one is the challenges and risks and obstacles that the company has and indicated by competitors are missing during all the reports. So in general, the reports keep a really positive tone, but they don't mention challenges or major problems that they have during the time.
On time. Seems to me that you have analyzed many aspects, so I need to read the report as well and go through the presentation, but I have enjoyed your presentation and it seems well done. So congratulations. You can please, thank you. Okay, group number 2, which is you know who you are. Con la pietra, Derosio, Pilini, Inizio, Fiore Fiorentini. 6. No, per una questa, grazie. Siamo? Ok, 43, perfetto.
Aspetta, aspetta.
So, this is a presentation on a report that investigates Ferrari's commitment towards sustainable development by analyzing their disclosure of GRI 200 standards in order to understand their commitment towards the achievement of the SDGs using longitudinal content analysis approach. The company is Ferrari SPA, and it's an Italian company that produces bottles and distributes mineral water, both in national and foreign markets, and it extracts it from its water source in Rialto, Caserta, without any added artificial CO2. It is the fourth biggest Italian water bottle company. And it retains 6.2% of the market in terms of value and 8.3% in terms of volume. Their revenues amounted to 204 million euros in 2020, and they produced 916 million bottles in 2019. So we found it interesting to analyze the sustainability approach of this company because in 2011 they were fined by the AGCM for an advertising campaign that claimed that their products were product with impact of zero. And the AGCM evidenced several different downsides to the initiatives. And the first one was that the initiative only related to the emissions of CO2. So impact of zero was a brand that only meant that they were not putting CO2 in the atmosphere. Then the initiative was very short in its time frame. It was only 2 months. And it only referred to 26 million bottles that were offset by reforestation out of the 216 million they produced that year. So it was very interesting to analyze their sustainability approach because they went from being fined to being awarded by Credit Suisse with the Sustainability Award in 2021. So, a research question is how did Ferrari pursue the achievement of the environmental sustainable development goals from 2015 to 2019? And this research question arises from the large need, the supported need for a framework and tools and methods to evaluate the company's commitment towards sustainable development. That is also backed up by much literature. And this analysis aims to establish whether and to what extent Ferrari's activities are in compliance with the achievement of the environmental SDG, because our analysis wants to evidence the complexity of analyzing a sustainable report that uses GRI 300 standard in order to evaluate the commitment toward SDG goals, and that wants to make that link from GRI to SDG. Starting from 2015, Ferrari has adopted the consolidated set of GRI sustainability report